I've got an idea. What if drugs like ayahuasca and DMT aren't just a cool, fun trip? What if they are a doorway or a gateway into another dimension or another plane of reality? What if we can access another verse or a multiverse by taking psychedelic drugs like that? What if we could learn from mistakes that our alternate selves have made and not have to actually make those mistakes ourselves? Because they're going to make different choices than us. They're going to experience different things than us, which means that they're going to be different than us, even though they are technically us. I think that this is a really cool idea. I think that it's just an idea right now, though. We need a character with motivations. Let's flesh it out. Welcome into the Fanaron.
What are we gonna name this trip one? Trip?
No, not Trip. I need my glasses. We should name it something like psychedelic. You know, like I mean, we don't have to come up with a name just right now. We usually come up with like just generic names like guy or man. I think starting out with a solid name, or at least a working name. What's the drug that he's gonna do?
Undisclosed.
Man-made in a lab, or made in a lab, or just like.
Yeah. Let me see. How do you rename? File. Rename. Draft 1. Trip.
Okay, before we do this, what's the story?
The one where he trips out.
I know. So how long do you want to make this? You want to start with a short, like make it like a 10-minute short?
Yeah, I was thinking like 8 minutes at the most.
Okay.
Like that, you know? Just a short,
Okay.
cool fucking film that somebody could watch and be like, oh, that's cool and inspiring.
Okay. So, mini story arc then. Like, maybe we come to him in the middle of an action. He's maybe picking up this drug, or it's being introduced to him. So it's like we get right into the action.
Yeah.
And maybe we get a little bit of exposition, like the person selling it to him can explain what it's going to do and like how awesome it is. And he's just like, oh man, I'm pumped. And then we'd like whip pan to his apartment and he's about to do it. But maybe there has to be something else on the line, you know?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm thinking that he just got into a fight, like I'm thinking with like his girlfriend or something like that, about something. Like maybe he proposed and she said I don't know, or something like a thing that'll get a guy being like, fuck,
let's do some drugs.
And he's gonna do this drug, and when he talks to like himself, like they're going to help him understand that he needs to understand her or something, and help him not ruin this relationship, you know?
Okay, so they're actually going to help him.
Yeah, but not in like a sense that like they sit down with him and they're like, what's wrong? Like he notices how he needs to be helped, or him just listening to them and their conversations and stuff makes him realize stuff, you know?
Okay, yeah. Do you want to have any type of a action scene in there, or chase scene?
No.
Or do you want it to be funny?
Things could be funny, but it's not trying to be funny. Like, I'm thinking it's just like, what's a good short?
Or you could use a feature film as an example for the tone and stuff. It doesn't have to be a short. Like, not Shaun of the Dead,
No,
horror comedy, but maybe something like Supernatural. Have you seen Supernatural?
no. Like Momentum.
Momentum's doesn't really have. I mean, I guess it has some funny parts in
Yeah,
there. Like,
like in the one of the first scenes is like he's running. He's like, wait, why am I running? And he's like, oh, I'm running towards him. Okay, I got it.
I'm chasing him, and then he shoots him.
And he's like, oh wait, no, I'm running away from him.
You're right. You're right. Okay, cool. That's a good like starting off point then.
So I'm thinking,
Do you want it to be like out of order and like cerebral like that because it's like, or you want it to just be a linear story?
like, I don't know, like the emotion of that movie. Guy.
No, we can't name another guy. Guy, come on, Guy. So okay, what's he gonna learn though? What does he have, or what's gonna be the moral? Do you want it to be? Is he gonna fix something about himself to win the girl over? Is he gonna realize something about the girl? Maybe it's like right before his wedding, and he's freaking out, and he's like, "I'm gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave," and then he's like, "Well, okay, look, I'm gonna take some drugs, and maybe it'll calm me down." And then he fucking trips out and meets his other selves, and some of them are like, "Dude, leave, get the fuck out of there while you still can," and some of them are like, "No, like you're freaking out. It's okay. It's gonna be fine." And then he has to. It's almost like a devil and angel on each shoulder kind of thing where he has to figure it out and make a choice.
It could be maybe a apartment, Dusk, and Manny.
Boom.
Manny is
a man.
like, I'm thinking maybe he's in an apartment and him and his best man or something is about to do a drug.
Bachelor party style?
Yeah, bachelor party style.
Like my bachelor party? Like if we rolled the dice on that one.
Well, I was thinking originally, like, he's having a problem, he's walking down the street, and he says, "What do you got that's new?" or something. And he meets up with a guy and he gives him a thing, and then he goes back to his room and he just does the drug without like anything. Like, that would be within like the first 30 seconds of the short film. And then the rest of it is like this trip where he like in a field or something talking to other hymns. Like, maybe he turns around and the other hymn's like, what the fuck? And he's like, what? And then like they both turn, there's another one, and he's like, what the fuck? And like they're out, they don't know what's going on, and fucking like they're talking to each other. He's like, no, I'm Zach. No, I'm Zach, or something. They start talking about like their parents or something, and then like maybe one's like, I never knew my parents, and then like they start realizing like, oh, like we're all different, and I guess like
This is the inception of the Zachverse, by the way. This is the inception of the Zachverse. It's like this is the short film that gets Zachverse funded.
the idea of Zachverse, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it is some type of DMT, or
Undisclosed, but it's DMT, you know?
okay. What if they call it like S3, and it's from the same lab that Bob Lazar worked at, and it's like an alien, some type of alien weed.
Okay.
And they call it like S3 or like 51A51 or something like that. And he's like you'll never do anything like this. Like and he's just like, look, I just need to be strong, okay? I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out over here. I just need something to cool my nerves. He goes, oh, this will cool you. This will cool you all the way to the moon or something like that. And he's like, okay, whatever. Like, just give it to me. And then he's like, fucking weirdo. And then it just whip pan back. He's in the apartment and he's like loading a bowl up. And we go, and then we get right into it.
9. I like S369.
Because you're going to be high for 369 days.
No, because 369, the
damn
numbers that Tesla knew. But 3
really?
Also because aliens. And aliens, if anything, are going to be very psychoactive.
Probably.
Drug is called S369. Manny meets the other Mannies. Confusion at first.
I love writer duet.
Yeah.
It's basically Google Docs for screenplays.
Through talking, they realize they are all men that had different lives in the Maniverse. Wow, I am really bad at spelling.
That's okay. This is like bullet points. Oh, okay, so I have an idea because I was wondering, how do you think, like, how do they come into existence? Have you thought about that? Because I have an idea.
Like, I was thinking, like, they don't, like, appear or anything. It's just like what one will be like, what the fuck? And then they both turn, and now there's a Manny there. And they're like, you're here. And then, like,
you don't see them pop into existence. They just kind of, like, walk into screen, and they're like, hey.
Well, not like, I think it's more the camera turns, and now he's there. And maybe he could, like, take a step, but, like, it's almost like they're on a plane of existence, and this plane of existence looks like a field next to a forest or something. You know,
okay,
with the light and everything. Maybe there's like a few stars and the moon is out, but like it's still like kind of bright, but not really. And yeah, they're not gonna like, whoa! And then, why am I here? It's because they're all in the multiverse. Those men that are there are Mannies that have taken that drug at that exact time.
So some Mannies are not there sharing it with them. It's not every single Manny.
Of Mannies that are out there, but these ones are the ones who are there doing that drug right then. Maybe they're not real and he is just tripping out and this is all in this.
Well, there's always going to be that, like, that question. In something like this, like the end of it, we're not going to do that on purpose, but some people will probably be like, he just took the drug and died, and this is what's happening in his head. But okay, so listen to this. I was thinking every single time one of them takes a hit from the bowl of this alien weed, another Manny shows up. So like at first he takes a hit, and then a Manny shows up, and he's like, what the fuck? And then he's like freaking out, and then he's like, oh man, I need something. I need another hit. And he takes another hit, and another Manny shows up, and then one of the Mannies takes the bowl. He's like, give me that. And then he takes a hit, and another Manny shows up and they're all just like, what the fuck's happening? And they need to smoke something to calm down, so they just keep passing the bowl around, and then just more Mannies keep popping in.
Yeah, I think once he's transported to this plane, he's there in just like clothes.
What do you mean? Like he's not wearing clothes before?
No, like he, or yeah, maybe it could be like the Matrix, where like he's wearing different clothes before he does it, in the bachelor party, and then he's transferred and he's wearing his regular street clothes, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he's all confused.
That way, every single one can have the same wardrobe. Because if we're, I mean, not like we're gonna. I mean, we could film this. This is a good thing that we could film and we should film if we ever have the time, resources, and whatever. But I'm thinking like, practically, if we were to film this, we would have to have one actor play all the Mannies, which we could easily do if we had all of them things on sticks. We could plan that out. But if we had them all have the same exact wardrobe, that would just make it easier. And it would be artistically, it would also be like, as soon as you get transported here, you're in the Manny clothes. It's like his normal clothes.
Well,
you know?
They would be different Mannies too. So like they would have different haircuts. Like we would have to have a guy who, if it was an actor, he has a full beard and a full thing hair, and we do different haircuts and facial cuts until it's down to clean shaven and bald, or something like that, just to get like all the different characters. Maybe that's the thing we should do, is figure out how many other Mannies is he going to be seeing.
Well, we could do something like we have 5 main Mannies, and then we have a bunch of background Mannies that are just in the background. They don't really are not interacting. So that way we can have 5 setups, like 5 different, hairstyles or beard styles or whatever, and then in between we shoot all the other Mannies in the background, like doing whatever, like talking to each other, and they're just kind of like extras. But we have 5. Like main Mannies who are conversing with each other. So 5 different personalities.
That could actually be a thing. Is there 5 Mannies that are talking together in a circle or something, but like maybe there's another circle with another 5, and we don't see talk to them, whatever.
They're trying to figure it out too, like the same way.
Group, like 30 feet away or something.
We do a walking shot, and as we pan past, we kind of pick up on their conversation, and they're like having the same conversation, but they're just like in a different group, and they walk past, and then we pan back to our main characters, and they're like, what are they talking about? Like, who cares?
Wow. It's like I type a sentence and half the words are spelt wrong. It's crazy.
That's what spell check's for.
All right. So where do you think it should start? Just start it in the bachelor party. Maybe him and his friend walk.
His friend's the one who gives it to him.
Hear stuff going on in another room or outside the party, and he's like,
yeah.
"Yo, I got the stuff you asked for." And he's like, maybe like, "Why'd you want this?" or something, and he's like, "I heard it was good and helps you think," or something. Or maybe he's like, I needed. Maybe he's like, tomorrow's like the big day, and I just needed, to something. What do you think?
Yeah, something like that, but less exposition-y. You know what I mean? It's better if it's done in an action. So that's why I was thinking that he was going to buy it, but no, it's better if
because that
he
skip everything.
His bachelor.
We don't need to see him buying it. He just needs to have it, take it, and then he's transported there. Because it's a short. Like in the movie version, it could be a whole thing.
What about this? They walk into the room, close the door, friend pulls it out, and he's like, here it is. And then the guy's like, maybe Manny's actually a little skittish. He's like, you sure this is safe, right? And then he's like, it's not fentanyl, bro. Like,
or maybe like, I've never done it. I didn't even know about it until you told me to get it or something.
Oh, see, I was thinking the guy knows what it is. Like the friend knows what it is. He's the hookup, He's like, hey, you should try this. Like, he's maybe the one pushing it on him because like it's your bachelor party, man. Like you
awesome.
Need
the friend, because like I would assume he's done it then if he knows about it. And if he's done it, he might have had a similar thing like this, which helped him grow as a person. And now he's like better being
Yep.
of himself, you know?
Yeah. Maybe he even says, like, hints at saying, like, look, you're getting married tomorrow. You need to do this tonight. You need to see. And that's it. And he just, like, leaves it at that. And you're like, you need to see. And he's like, see what? Like, what the? Whatever, dude. Okay, I'm just going to take one hit. And he goes, that's
We
all
could
you,
even
that's
hint
all I'm
that like
asking.
they've known each other since they were kids. And he's like, remember when we did shrooms when we were younger? It's
Yeah. He's like, yeah, it was awesome. He's like, yeah, you were scared then too. He's like, yeah, you were right. He's like, I know I was right. Okay, all right, that's it. You write the bad influence drug abusing friend, and I'll write Manny.
Is his name Manny?
I don't know. He's a man. He's kind of manly. Manny was a manly man whose fleece was white as snow. Okay, we're going to do an interior.
Yes.
Apartment. Dusk. How about bedroom? What's the friend's name?
I just put Paul. I have no idea.
Paul. Oh, that's Paul. I don't know. I'm not getting Paul vibes from him.
Job?
Job.
Alright. Who in ancient history or mythical legend is a friend who gave somebody something? Gabriel? Gabe?
Gabe. I like that.
Okay.
Is it going to be in flower form?
No, I was thinking like DMT, just like a white powder.
Ooh, oh, ooh. This is unnecessary.
What?
Yo, bro.
Oh, watch, because I was gonna do this. Just move it there. Yo, bro. And he flips it out and shows it to him.
Yeah, but I don't think we need the yo, bro. It's unnecessary dialogue.
What about this?
They've already greeted themselves. They've been at a party with each other.
Okay.
He just goes, here it is.
Bro. Flips it out. Manny says, well, obviously here it is. He's showing it to him.
Yes, good point.
Yeah, you do that. Maybe oh man, I'm nervous. Remember when... remember the first time we did shrooms? Comma, you were scared then.
I think that Gabe should just say, "Trust me, you need to see this." Something like really vague like that. And then just leave it at that. And then that's it. That's the only dialogue. Like that's which is the great thing. It's more of an emotional like we're on this journey with him. Maybe we even like film it in front of a green screen so we could do some crazy weird like tripping like he's inside of some type of kaleidoscope of some sort. Dude, this is good. This is really concise. There's not a lot of fluff in there. That's really one of the things that a lot of first drafts of screenplays are is just a lot of that unnecessary dialogue. The hey dude, it's like we were just at this party together. You told me to come into this bedroom. Like, why are you saying hey to me? Like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? It's like you just get right into it. I love it. Trust me. You need to see this. And then that's so vague, but it's like intriguing. Like people are gonna lean in and be like, "Okay, I'm along on the ride." Okay. Does Gabe leave?
No.
You don't think so?
What do you think? Something about why he's leaving? I think like you need to be alone for this. But then I'd be scared. I'd be like, "What? I'm not doing a drug by myself like in this situation."
Yeah. You're probably right. I just figured it would be more intimate, like quieter setting, like and then also I'm imagining just like as a director, right? He opens the door and we hear the party and he like says something, ah! And then he like closes the door and then we're back in the silence. So like that jarring noise to kind of like unsettle you right before like a nice silence and then he takes it. You know what I mean? That pacing wise, I feel like that really flows. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Because Manny wouldn't know what to do and how much to do it.
Yeah.
Is it going to be immediate, do you think?
He goes...
Or do you want...
And then flash cut to... how do you do it? Slam cut to him in the field next to a bar. Like, no explanation. Boom! And he's just like, confused. Like, what? Wait. What?
See you on the other side. What if we do go to POV of Manny and he is like we see his vision kind of like funnel in like tunnel vision and he starts to get woozy and we do one of these and then all of a sudden we slam cut back to a close up of him. And
okay. Yeah. He holds it in, and then as soon as he coughs, flash Slam cut to in the field, and he's still coughing, and he looks not in the apartment, and he's like,
Okay, so there's no indication that he doesn't get any. We don't see him get like woozy or anything like that. He just like a regular hit, and he holds it.
yeah,
And that first cough, it just brings him to this new place. Okay.
for coughs. Lush field? No, just grassy field.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
All right. Manny hits the pipe and takes a huge pull and holds it in. Then coughs. Slam cut to exterior grassy field, dusk. Manny coughs out the smoke from his lungs. That's cool. Like he like the smoke
Comes
teleported with him. Okay, cool. Okay, well, what happens now? Like, how does he... Is he alone at first? And he's just, like, curious?
Yeah. Gabe? Okay. Something like that.
We gotta go right into probably
Yeah.
one of the other ones. Like, because they don't all take this drug with Gabe. They all take it... Some of them take it with Gabe.
I was thinking that, yeah, like some was like he'll be like Gabe or something like that, or maybe one of the other ones after, because like one guy is gonna appear and then another guy and then another guy up till it's like 5 of them, and then maybe like one of them at some point is after he's done coughing, he's gonna like look around and be like Gabe, and then one man he will be like Gabe isn't here, and then another person will be like, who is Gabe?
I like that. That's good dialogue.
We hear okay, man.
One of the Mannies should be a regular here. Like he's like
Been that.
he's like this is really your guys' first time doing this? He's like, I do this every weekend. What are you talking about? Yeah, I like that. He just hears coughing behind him, and then he hears, "Oh, what the hell?" Oh, maybe not. Like he recognizes it. Uh-oh. Okay, so yeah, we gotta do now Manny 2. Gabe? This shit doesn't even work.
War. All right. So he meets the first one, frozen in shock. Who the fuck are you? They have to talk different too, because they've all had different lives. We have to remember that. Basically, different characters, kind of.
Yeah, but maybe some of them are like really
only going to be
similar.
seeing 5. They have to be different enough to where their experiences help him change his life. It will obviously be assumed that there's probably ones that have the exact same life up until 30 years from now, and then something changes, you know?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
these
that's
5
true.
ones that we're going to see have to be different enough to affect his life from here on then. This has to be short, too, this confusion stage, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it has to be resolved by page 2.
By the end of page 2?
I'm thinking.
Okay. What the hell? Gabe? Manny looks around confused and startled. Manny hears he hears coughing behind him. I think he should keep the tuxedo on, because that'll also distinguish him as being the main character.
Okay.
Who has to change, and then maybe at one point they're all like, "Wait, why are you in a tuxedo?" And he's like, "I'm getting married tomorrow." And then they're like, "What?"
Okay.
Because maybe none of them are married, or maybe one of them is married, or I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you're marrying Deborah? Who's Deborah?
It's like, who's Deborah? Who the hell are you?
In a hoodie. I think that's how you spell it.
You taking out him coughing?
No, I just moved it up. The spitting thing.
Oh.
Hmm. I'm going to do this. I don't like the space.
What space?
I'm putting a tack or whatever they're called between Manny.
Oh, Manny 2. Oh, okay. I like that. I like that.
This is a good story. I like this. It's funny that all the things that we've come up with, nobody has ever done. Ever. Yeah, I've seen that. That's like elementary. Like, the shit that we come up with is so fucking sick.
What if he's in like a mascot costume and he's holding like one of those
Thinking
signs,
just in
like
boxers.
he's standing on the corner? They're getting less and less
thinking have him
sophisticated.
in, like,
Tuxedo,
bum
hoodie,
clothing, like
boxers.
he's a bum. But then it's like, what are we gonna? Each Manny he sees is like the exact opposite of who he is. Like it can't be like that ridiculous, you know?
Yeah, actually, we should take some time to think about what the personalities are. So the main Manny, he's kind of like neutral Manny. Is he successful financially? Does he have a good career? Does he have money? Is he like he's slightly skittish, so he's not like a crazy drug user. Like probably just drinks and smokes. And then we could think about the Manny that just came is probably more, he's like a bachelor Manny. He never settled down. He's a little bit more vulgar. He takes more risks. But he's still similar to first Manny. He's just got a little bit more inclination to take risks and stuff. And then Manny 3, maybe one of the Mannys should be like a millionaire.
So maybe he's
like a business owner. He's a bachelor.
well.
He's like living like you. Manny 1's
like
living like me. Manny 2's living like
he's
you.
in a hoodie. You know, I imagine thugs.
Okay. I was just imagining that he's just, I don't know, he doesn't, I mean, the only reason the first guy's in a tuxedo is because he's getting married. It's not like he wears tuxedos all the time. It's like, why are you in a tuxedo? It's Tuesday. What do you don't wear tuxedos every Tuesday? Okay. One of the Mannies should
5.
be hyper successful. 5 should be, yes, like really successful. He's like a business owner or like multi-business owner, like maybe millionaire. Maybe one of the Mannies can be a politician.
In hyper successful in tech.
One. Okay. Politician? But not really, like a lieutenant governor or something like that. Or like deputy or like volunteer sheriff or some shit. He's like, excuse me, I'm a volunteer sheriff. It's like, oh, big boy, volunteering. Do they even give you a gun? I get a taser, but it's a projectile taser. He's like, shut up, volunteer.
Engineer? Like an engineer?
No, like a machine operator in like a factory, and he's like, so kind of like engineering, but like he knows it's kind of like what you and I were doing, like in the military, but in a more of a factory setting, kind of like The Machinist with Christian Bale, where he's actually like fixing the machine and he like knows how to work with his hands. So he's got a really good blue collar job that not many people know how to do. So he's specialized. He makes good money, maybe like $80,000 a year. So he's just very like upper middle class.
Normal.
He's just like a normal dude, and he's smart, but he's not like Normandy.
Street wise. Parents died. 2.
Which one? Parents died. So he's not in a relationship. And he works odd jobs. Doesn't have like a full-time job, but he does well financially because he works a bunch of odd jobs and he knows like a bunch of stuff.
Makes money selling drugs.
Very like adaptable.
Uh,
Yeah, that's what I said.
no future.
He sells.
Potential.
Is he the guy who? He's not the guy who does this
We'll
all
see.
the time. Maybe there isn't a guy who does it all the time. What if Manny One's the only one to get it married, and so they all are like, they all love their life, but they kind of envy him,
I was
and
thinking
so they try to help
Manny
him
5
to go through with it.
maybe is divorced. Because I'm writing successful in tech, parents won the lotto, divorced.
Yeah.
Because, like, all the Mannies have to have been obviously born from the same parents. They could die, things could change their parents. You know, maybe
Yes.
one of them died. A bunch of different things. Like, Lottery would also have him have the same parents, but also grow up completely different, you know, than the other.
Yeah. So his parents won the lottery,
Like,
and then they
maybe
got divorced, and he grew up with a lot of money,
Yeah, he
and
was
then
divorced.
he's divorced.
No.
But he didn't marry the same girl.
He never even met that girl.
Because he grew up with money, so he grew up differently, so he never even met that girl. Yeah. So he
got
married some
divorced,
prissy
realized
bitch
that
who married him
he can, like,
for the
say
money,
something
and
like
then
that.
they
He's
suck.
like,
They suck. Exactly.
I don't know.
You know what's funny is if you dig deep into like the like meaning behind the story, it is One could interpret it as the blue collar worker who is works with his hands is actually the most successful because he meets the girl, because he's humble and he works with his hands and he's not afraid to like do dirty work, and like he's a manly man, and everyone else is like, I grew up with money, or like I do a
Manny,
bunch of
the first one
I
could
don't know,
be
I sell
saying like,
drugs for a
no,
living.
like she's great and blah 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 blah, and then Manny Five could be like, oh man, I wish I found a girl like that. The one I married was a bitch, and that's why we're not fucking together anymore, or something like that. She was just in it for the money. Like you got someone good there, and these are all things, you know. Like they're not all coming together and trying to be like, "Hey,
Hmm.
Manny, no, you're great, man," and like they're not all together doing it. They're all their own separate people. Like if this is real in the movie, like this
Yeah.
one is having an experience with this that's also going to change his life when he goes back, and everyone's is going to be different. They're all each other, even though they don't even know it.
Yeah. So, see, because I think that just by having the conversation, that's all going to come out, because they're all going to have their regrets. It's always like grass is always greener on the other side, right? So maybe Manny one
I
is
wish
like,
I had
yeah, I just wish that I
Manny
had,
Five
if I,
brought me up.
yes, exactly. Or man, I wish I had more free time to just like do more drugs and like just chill.
I give it all up to have your
Probably
life.
nothing but pain.
No future.
Okay. He's the guy who comes all the time. He does drugs. He plays video games. He doesn't have a job.
Yeah, Manny 2. Maybe Manny 2 shouldn't know Gabe.
He is, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't. He's
Maybe,
come on another completely different path.
mm, maybe Manny 5 could know Gabe. Because that would
Yeah.
Gabe, growing up.
Well,
Oh, your
who's
parents
Gabe?
won
Does
the
Gabe
lottery? Oh,
work
we're
with
going
him
to
at the
fucking Manny's
factory,
house
or
to fucking hang out, or something. Like, I could see a young friendship staying with Manny 5. Manny 2, he's gonna like fuck people over. He's not really gonna have any friends and things like that. He's gonna have like acquaintances or things like that in the drug world and on the streets and whatever. Also, his parents died, so he's not gonna be the same person at all. So he can't know Manny. Even Manny 3 could still know Gabe. He's just, a fucking loser.
yeah. It could be funny if they all know
Gabriel, the
Gabe, and
messenger
then
from
they
God.
come to realize that Gabe is the. I actually wasn't gonna say that, but something like that. I was gonna say he's an alien, and like he's the denominating factor, and he wanted all the Mannies to get together to like come to some type of a conclusion, almost like similar to how Most Def is like the alien friend in
Mhm.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The whole time, Gabe's just been an alien the whole time, and he's like been waiting for this one moment to give him the DMT in all the realities, because maybe he
That
like
could
lives in
actually be a
multiple
thing that they
planes or
all talk
something.
about. Say, oh, you know Manny? Gabe? And I know Gabe. And then you could be like,
What?
yo,
What
Gabe is
if?
that guy I got the drugs from. This drug, like, he didn't know him, but got it from him at that exact moment. I like
Yeah.
that. That could actually work then.
And I was thinking that like maybe the successful Manny, it's like he was in a bar in like Tennessee, like Memphis or something like that, and he's like, Gabe. He's like, because at first he's like, I don't know, Gabe. Like that's a fucking gay name. And then he's like, wait a second, Gabe. Oh my god, this guy came up to me at the bar and he said that he knew me from elementary school, like, and I was just like, I talked to him for 20 minutes and then I drank my drink and I went upstairs and then the next thing I know I'm here. He's like, he drugged me, like he sent me here or something like that. And then the other ones got someone he sold it to, and one of them is his best man at the wedding.
Maybe not a drink.
Like, oh,
maybe he,
and then
like,
he's
had
the
a
denominator,
and it was dipped in the cigarette.
Oh yeah, yeah. He like goes like this, and like to ash it, but he actually like touches it to the powder, and then he goes like this and hands it to him, and he goes. That's
All right, so
cool.
undisclosed yet. We'll think about that. Manny 4. All right, we have a thuggy guy. We
Okay,
have a
then one of the
loser. We have
Manny's,
hyper
one of the
successful.
Manny's.
What's a different one? But that's hyper successful.
Well, I was gonna say politician. In a different way, though, can be completely different than the rich guy, because
timid.
Maybe he's like a teacher, like a special ed teacher, or
Yeah.
Okay, Manny 4. Also, I'm trying to think of the progression of the Mannies and how are they all going to like feed into one another, and what's, because now it's getting complicated. Now we're getting into like the thick of things where like there's going to be intertwined stories and stuff like that, but we have to keep it simple enough to where we can keep it in 10 pages, but complex enough that it's interesting and like that there's an actual story there, you know, because we've set this whole world up, which is like amazing, but now we have to really think about like the story, that especially if we're going to change it and make Gabe this like alien creature or something, or interdimensional creature. If we don't do that, then we can go back to like an idea of just our main Manny comes to realize like something, or like how lucky he is, or, but I think it's cool. I think it's really cool to have that intertwined story with something like Gabe, and then there's a common goal that they could all work towards, and then there could be a lesson intertwined in there, but they could all work together to actually like solve something instead of just talking, you know, to each other and being confused. I think the only others, tight ass.
Oh.
So maybe he's in the Marine Corps, in the military, or in the Navy, or something like that. And he's a tight ass, and he's a rule follower. So he's the opposite of the dead parents one. How did he take drugs then? We could do he could be the one who was drugged, and then the rich guy could just be like in Bali or something. And there's a guy like, yeah, Gabe sold it to him, but he was just like dressed up like a cabana boy, like he was all tan and stuff, and he's like, "Hola, señor, would you like a margarita?" And the guy's like, "Oh, okay." Either that, or he's just like a huge drug doer as well. No, but they can't all That would be 3 people who are huge drug doers and 1 not huge drug doer.
Maybe this one 3. Well, I don't
3
know.
has
I
done
think
it
that's
all,
what this
does
drug
this
should do,
drug all the
because that's
time, but he's
also
never
what
met another Manny.
if like if Gabe it's because he's tripping out. You know, he is on a drug. So I like the idea that like this could all
Yeah.
still be in his head. So maybe he shouldn't have done it so many times. Maybe he's just done a ton of hallucinogens. Of course, I didn't get that
LSD.
right. Of
You could have just wrote
hallucinogens,
LSD.
but never S3.
Hallucinogenitalia. S3. Okay. So I think that the first beat is really good, and the pacing is really good. And if we change the like kind of the dialogue in the beginning, we keep it the same pacing. It's gonna feel great. Then that first sense of confusion is really good, and then we hear.
Yeah.
They see Manny through.
Skip.
Okay.
All the Mannies are here now, like because this
Okay.
whole thing is gonna happen, and then all the Mannies are there, and then what are they gonna talk about? I guess they all are going question each other. And what's going on?
Are we gonna do the Gabe thing?
What do you think? I like the idea of them all getting it from a Gabe. I just want to know the logistics about it.
Well, I think that... Okay, if we want people to be... Like, if we want the ending to be a little bit open-ended, like, then we do something similar to the end of The Dark Knight Rises, where he sees Bruce in the diner, but then it's not really confirmed. Well, like, was it really him? No, we don't know. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? So at the end, we see Gabe, and he like looks at the camera or something like that. But I don't know, or we don't do that. I don't know. I'm just...
Yeah, how is it going to end?
We should probably think about the ending. The ending is going to be Manny 1 coming out of his trip, and he's going to feel comfortable about the wedding. Like, he's going to feel confident about it for some reason because of what they talked about.
Yeah, his fears are going to be resolved while in the field. And then maybe like one by one they all disappear or something, or they leave.
Yeah, and he's the last one left.
Yeah. He'll be the last one left, and Smile come back to, and Gabe will be like, I told you, or how was it, or something. Or bro. Starts with bro.
I was thinking, like, in the beginning, Manny could be saying something like, "I'm not ready." No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And then at the end, after he comes through, Gabe goes, "You ready?" And then Manny just kind of smiles.
I like that.
That's like a nice setup and a payoff.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. That's good. Oh, I can't wait to film this. Enter it into a competition.
I know.
I'll probably be able to film it here, because the guy that I work with, he's done like Hallmark movies and stuff like that, and fucking
Dude, sick.
red cameras or whatever they're called, and he has like everything, and he has like the connections to get like an actor and stuff like that to do that. So we could film everything and then send you the stuff, and you could do your fucking Emmy award-winning fucking editing.
All right, Delio.
Yeah. Thing could be that he's questioning this marriage, or he's scared.
We know that
at this part in his life, and like that's the whole thing. It's like he'll see all the other lives that all these other Mannies have had, and it'll make him like more confident about he made the right decision.
Yeah, I think that's got to be the big takeaway, and it just happens from the conversation, kind of like
Man from Earth.
Last Man, is it Last Man on Earth? No, it's not Last Man on Earth. What's
a perfect
The Man from Earth? Yeah,
you know,
like really good conversation. They all like. I just don't want it to be
walking.
I don't know how they did it so well in that movie, because like
I know.
I know, but a lot of it's all exposition. But it's not exposition because
when I remember that movie, I'm not remembering him saying, "Oh, I saw another man who, you know, in a train station, and we talked, and then like I don't see him saying those things. I see what he's saying, you know." Like the whole movie in my head is not them in a room, even though I know it is. It's everywhere of him doing all the things, you know?
It's like when you remember a book, you're not remembering the words on the page, you're remembering what you imagined.
Yeah, you're remembering your hallucinations.
Your Phaneron. Okay, so through their conversation, we have the kind of the outline of who they are and where they came from and how different they are. And I think one of Manny's biggest fears is the regret, the fear of missing out. And like he wants more money, he wants to be able to like spend more time doing business. He wants to, be able to party more, and he doesn't want to have to like sacrifice a lot of the things that come with marriage. And then,
and through all the other Mannies, those are the things. Like Manny 5 has all the money. Manny
4 is disciplined.
Does no responsibilities and can do whatever he wants. And Manny 4 is
he's jacked. He's disciplined.
Yeah, he's jacked and disciplined and all the things, but then he has no fun, and he's not this guy he wants to be. And Manny 2 is like
he's just sad.
Yeah, he's sad, always making poor decisions and shit like that.
And then Manny 1 is kind of like a mix of all of them, but like a good mix of all of them, like kind of like the average of them all. And he's like, "Oh, I'm the winner in this." Like, and then he feels confident after that. That's cool. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Manny 1 has fears of regret. He doesn't want to miss out on everything that comes with being single. He is afraid of the sacrifice. Okay. The other Mannies all talk about their lives. Man from Earth style. And then Manny One realizes he is the winner. His life is the best, even though he doesn't. Even though it's hard. Harder than the others. Because, like, he has a blue-collar job, so he works harder with his hands. It's, like, exhausting work, and he's paid a living wage, but probably is middle class-ish and, like, doesn't really have a bunch of savings or investing. He's just kind of, like, living his life like most of us, and if anything were to happen, he would, like, lose everything, like if the factory closed down or whatever. But so it takes a toll on his body, and it takes a toll on all that stuff, and he doesn't get paid probably for what the work he's doing, but he's still getting paid, like, decently. And so also he's raped with taxes and, like, all the other bullshit. Like, it's kind of like middle class. It's like the woes of our generation, right? And everybody else in here, like the military guy, like, that life is hard too. But it's also very simple. Like, you do the same thing every single day.
Yeah.
You just follow orders. And then the entrepreneur life is hard too, but it's like you don't have to have a work-life balance. Your life is your work. So you literally just wake up and you work. And, like, there's no like stress because that's what you love. You're literally married to your work. And then the other two, you know, one of them, he struggles. The second one, Manny 2, he struggles because he's kind of in the same boat as Manny 1, but he doesn't have the commitments. He doesn't own a house, and he doesn't have the job the same way. And he maybe, I don't know, he's more nomadic, but he's very resourceful. Like my Uncle Vin, he like has 3 different homes throughout the year, and he like rents rooms, but he does favors for them. He, like, manages the house for, like, 3 months while he lives in this person's guest house, and he just has, like, favors. And then sometimes he goes and lives on a boat, and he's just like a nomad. And then Manny 3 lives in his parents' basement, and he doesn't do anything, so his life's easy, super easy.
Cesium.
Cesium of yours. Okay. He is confident he is making the right decision. Yeah, and then Manny 5 is like, what was the name that you said? Danielle or Denise?
Yeah.
What'd you say, Danielle?
I think I said Denise.
Oh, you're marrying Denise? No, fuck that bitch. Run for the hills. He goes, who the hell's Denise? It's like, oh, thank God. She took 1/5 of my fortune, and now I only have 12 billion left. Oh. What's my dog doing? Oh. Drinking water. What an asshole. Oh yeah, dude. Discipline and no fun. Alright, dude. This is a good stopping point. Until next time.